Is recognized.
I yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from Colorado, Representative Lauren Boebert.
Gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to my colleague Paulina Luna for leading on this very important issue. Adam Schiff is a complete disgrace to our nation and to our Constitution. He put the American people through 4 years of an endless impeachment hoax that he knew from the beginning was a lie. He represents the worst of permanent Washington, using his position of trust to lie to the American people. He received intelligence briefings that other members and the public did not have access to. And he used this position of trust to lie and to advance his own partisan agenda. Schiff's disgraceful time in Congress has destroyed Americans' faith in our institutions. Today, I am proud to stand with my colleague and friend from Florida, Paulina Luna, to try and undo some of the damage that Adam Schiff has done by finally holding this crook accountable. Today, we are saying enough is enough by censuring him, and referring him to the Ethics Committee. I told the American people that he had to prove that the Trump campaign asking the Russians for help in a conspiracy. That was a lie. He claimed that he was not working with anonymous informants during the impeachment hoax. That was a lie. Everyone with common sense knew that Adam Schiff was lying all along, including the Director of National Intelligence, Obama's former Attorney General, the FBI Deputy Director, and more. But Adam Schiff doubled down on his big lie, claiming he had a smoking gun, proof of a conspiracy. But the only conspiracy going on was his conspiracy to defraud the American people by taking down their duly elected president.
I yield 4 minutes to Representative Boebert.
Gentlewoman's recognized.
When Adam Schiff got caught lying, he did what all liars do and tried to cover the truth even more. He even used his taxpayer-funded staff to ask Twitter to censor journalists fact-checking his lies. But Adam Schiff won't get out of this one by calling in a favor. Today, we are holding him accountable and censuring him for his lies to the American people. To restore the trustworthiness of the House of Representatives, every member should vote to censure Adam Schiff so that we can speak with one voice to assure the American people that these lies will not be tolerated. I urge every one of my colleagues with good and decent intentions to vote for this resolution. If Adam Schiff has a shred of human decency left, he would resign from Congress in disgrace. His tombstone should read of his failed career in Congress and should be one word: liar. I yield back.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentleman from Maryland. From Florida.
I yield 3 minutes of my time to the gentleman from Georgia, Representative Greene.
Gentlewoman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's a lot of things that happen here in Congress, and many of them waste the American people's hard-earned tax dollars. But one of the most outrageous waste of hard-earned tax dollars has been the Russian collusion hoax led by Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff lied to the American people by leading the fake Russian witch hunt against President Trump. He weaponized the House Intelligence Committee to abuse all principles of due process and perpetuate the lies of Russia collusion. And he did that on the media over and over again. His committee conducted approximately 53 interviews during its 2017-2018 Russia probe. These transcripts from the Director of National Intelligence, former Obama Attorney General, former Deputy Attorney General, and the FBI Director, among others, proved that there was zero direct evidence of criminal conspiracy. He not only refused to release these interview transcripts, but he also continued to peddle lies to the American people that Russia interfered in the election. He falsely claimed that Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help. and the president made full use of that help when referring to allegations between President Trump and Russia during the 2016 election. In November 2020, he specifically asked Twitter to take action against spreaders of misinformation by removing content that questioned his baseless claims of Russian collusion. The biggest spreader of misinformation was Adam Schiff. As we know, the Mueller report determined there was no criminal collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Thanks to the Durham report, we know now the entire Russian hoax was bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. During the probe, Schiff also abused his position on the Intel Committee and violated civil liberties by subpoenaing phone records from AT&T and a former Republican colleague on entirely baseless claims. His lies and abuse of power continued during the sham. Hollywood produced January 6th committee witch hunt, where him and his staff doctored a text message between Representative Jim Jordan and former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to deliberately manipulate information presented to the American people. What a lie. He displayed a graphic of a text message which cut a sentence in half and eliminated the final 2 paragraphs of a detailed legal summary that were contained in the original text message. He did this to peddle more lies to the American people and perpetuate the fake narrative that January 6th was an insurrection, and it was not. And now Adam Schiff is running for Senate.
Gentlewoman yields to.
Thank you.
How much time?
1 minute.
One more minute.
1 more minute. Gentlewoman's recognized.
Thank you. And now Adam Schiff is running for Senate in California. Now, California has a lot of things messed up, and California is not the model that the United States needs. As a matter of fact, their government policies are atrocious. So if California decides to send Adam Schiff to Senate, they will be sending a proven liar, and that's what he's aiming to do. Raise money off of being a liar and running for Senate. I yield back the remainder of my time.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentleman from Maryland. Direct their comments to the chair. Gentlewoman from Florida.
I yield 2 minutes of my time to the gentleman from Florida, Representative Cory Mills.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I rise in favor of H.Res. 521 to censure and condemn Congressman Adam Schiff. The bottom line is this. Congressman Schiff utilized his position and hid behind classifications to mislead the American people. He abused his congressional authority and security clearance to push his own party's political agenda. This was not meant to be an unbiased jurisdiction of change. This was meant to be a political witch hunt. When members are appointed to select committees on intelligence, they are trusted with privileged information, and other members of the House are taking them for their word. As someone who had worked within the intelligence community, I can tell you that our classifications that we're available to take and read is not to be abused for our own ulterior motives. I hope my colleagues will join Congresswoman Luna to censure and hold Congressman Schiff accountable and to put an end of the waste, fraud, and abuse and the gross neglect in how we take advantage of the American people. With that, I yield back.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentlewoman from Florida.
I yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Wyoming, Representative Hageman.
Gentlewoman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I take my duties as Wyoming's lone congressional representative very seriously, and my obligation to be honest and trustworthy is the foundation of my ability to carry them out. This privileged resolution isn't about politics. It is about the seriousness of being honest and forthright as a member of Congress and upholding the oath of office that we all take upon being sworn in. It is true that the gentleman from California wouldn't be the first member of Congress to exaggerate or stretch the truth, but willfully lying about serious issues our country has faced is something entirely different, and claiming that a sitting president has committed what amounts to treason is beyond simple hyperbole. This member's lies led to the wasting of millions of taxpayer dollars for unnecessary investigations and the deflection of our attention from the most pressing issues at hand to focus on a made-up crisis. This member's actions were designed to delegitimize the 2016 election and to hamstring the Trump administration. For all the talk about not accepting the election results in 2020, perhaps Democrats and the media, which are mostly one and the same, might want to look at their actions in 2016. To make matters worse, this representative perpetuated these lies while he was chair of the House Intel Committee and consistently implied, if not outright stated, that he had inside information. In that capacity, he lied about how the FBI and DOJ obtained and renewed a FISA warrant. The FBI and DOJ officials did not omit material information from the FISA warrant. How the DOJ used the Steele dossier, what was collected via the FISA warrant, the FBI's vetting process for the Steele dossier, that he had an alleged smoking gun showing that President Trump colluded with Russia. And if each of these claims has proven to be false. But the lies have continued. In fact, they have become compulsive, and they continue right through to this very day. The lies weaken this body, and if left unchecked, threaten the rule of law, our election integrity, and the civil rights of his targets. The words and actions of this member were dangerous and untrue, knowingly untrue. There must be a serious consequence for that. Being censored is the least of what he should be subjected to, and I support this resolution.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentleman from Maryland.
30 seconds.
Gentleman from Florida.
I yield myself as much time as I may consume. I just wanted to take a second to thank all of my colleagues from across the aisle who have spoken today for putting themselves on the record defending the Russia collusion hoax, even after the Burisma payments to Hunter Biden and the big guy have been made public. The congressional record is a very useful accountability tool. And with that, I yield my time. I reserve my time. I yield myself as much time as I may consume. I just want to remind people that this is on behalf of the American people in restoring order to the House and in an effort to bring back trust, which is something that this institution has lacked for many years. I'm very proud, and I would like to own my vote in saying that I will be voting for the censure of Adam Schiff, and with that, I yield my time.
Gentlewoman, yield.
I yield myself as much time as I may consume. As a United States Air Force veteran and a proud Mexican-American woman that happens to be almost 8 months pregnant, I would like to say that in regards to integrity, what happened in this country, what happened with the divide that occurred after the fact that the Russia collusion hoax was pushed down the throats of the American people is not what I would consider integrity. And if we want to talk about these little fun games and comments back and forth, we're here not about Donald Trump. We're not here about January 6th. We are here about the former chairman of the Intelligence Committee that used a lie that broke apart this country. And so with that, I reserve the remainder of my time.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
I yield myself as much time as I may consume. Again, I would like to say that this is not about Donald Trump. This is about holding accountability for someone who exploited their official position, had access to information that most members of Congress do not have access to, and bringing accountability back to the American people. So regardless of whatever the gentlewoman from California says or anyone else, you guys are not being honest about the focus of this resolution and this censure, and that is exactly why we're here today, to debate it out. But I thank you. With that, I reserve the rest of my time.
Gentlewoman has.
Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is the vote on adoption of House Resolution 521, on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will report the title of the resolution.
House Resolution 521, resolution censuring Adam Schiff, representative of the 30th Congressional District of California.
The question is on adoption of the resolution. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote.
This last vote in the House is on a resolution to censure Congressman Adam Schiff over his claims about former President Trump's ties to Russia while serving as chair of the House Intelligence Committee. A vote to censure Representative Schiff was blocked last week. This resolution today was revised to remove a $16 million fine. Now, if the censure is approved, Congressman Schiff would be the 25th House member to ever be censured.
members voted. Does any member wish to change a vote?
On this vote, the yeas are 213 and the nays are 209. With 6 answering present, the resolution adopted. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. House will be in order. I'll wait.